How'd they do on the bobblehead?
I think they did great. I mean, first of all, they got all the tattoos right, which is pretty impressive. Eye black, everything else came out awesome. I mean, it's a pretty cool bobblehead, and it's like how Trout said, you know, there's a nice little area to sign right there on the grass, so I think it came out good.
See, I'm gonna guess that you weren't in the minor leagues long enough to get one, right?
So I had one in Rocket City in AA, and I got called up before I was even able to see it. So.
Do we know where it is? Did you ever?
I got some from AA when they came out, but I wasn't actually able to play on that day, so it was okay, you know.
Well, I think it's better that you get called up than to have a AA
I'm not
bobblehead.
Yeah.
So you were the first guy from that 2022 class to get called up.
Yep.
But it's another thing to have less than 50 minor league games before you get the call to the show. Did it ever feel like it was, whoa, this is moving a little fast?
I thought at first it was a little crazy how it all happened. But knowing the hard work and dedication I have for this game, and you know how I was playing at the time, and just you know how fun the game was for me, I think it was a no-brainer. I thought I left a pretty good impression that my first spring training, and being sent down to the minor leagues, I kind of had a little bitter taste in my mouth, and you know just wanted to come out swinging from the start once the AA season started, and I did that, and you know within I think it was 6 or 7 games in that season, I was already called up to the big leagues.
Sure. You end up being a first-round pick. And then all of a sudden, you not only get drafted to the Angels, you get drafted to a team with Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani. Yeah. You can tell me, even though you're a show big leaguer, like the first time you walk on the field and you see those two guys, where you're like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. My first spring training, I was able to see both of them. You know, Trout's locker's like right in front of mine, and then Shohei's is right at the end of the locker room. And it's just seeing those guys walk into the locker room, and it's like, okay, is this actually real? Like, you know, I know they're my teammates, but this is pretty sick. And it was just, you know, breaking the ice with the first conversation. You know, you don't want to be rude and you know, disrupt their time or whatever. And it's just being able to kind of break that ice and just get cool with them, and you know, just build a relationship. I think is what is the most important part. And you know, both of them have been pretty cool with me, and you know, I've just been doing a great job of just kind of like, you know, respecting their time just like they do with mine, and just being able to be a good teammate and good friend.
Yeah, but what do you say to two of the biggest stars in the sport when you're just starting out? You're like,
it's like
hi, I'm Zach.
Yeah,
what do you do?
I mean, it's like a kid at a candy store. Like, there's so many options, and you just don't know what to do. Like, do I want this, do I this? I honestly have no idea. I mean, it probably wasn't a lot of talking. It was just more waiting for somebody to say my name. Is like, oh yeah, that's me. You know, just. But they both knew who I was. I think it was pretty cool. And but yeah, it was definitely a cool one.
See, this is the difference between you and me. If that had been me, I would have called my parents and been like, Mike Trout knows my name. Shohei said, hey, Chris, what's up? I would have been like, yay.
No doubt.
That's how I would have done
Yes,
it.
sir.
So are you a chatty guy on the field? Do you like chatting guys up?
Yeah, I think it's pretty special in the game, just being able to build relationships with other guys on different teams that you don't get to see every day. And you know, it just shows how close this game is. You know, you play these guys maybe, you know, once a series, you know, a year. And you know, that's probably the only time you're going to see him. And so just be able to, you know, build relationships, say your name, you know, introduce yourself, and you know, just kind of expands the game. And so now when you see him again, it's, you know, it's pretty comfortable, you know, going up to him and introducing. And you never know, you know, you might be playing with them someday on the road, or they might be joining you. So you know, it's always good breaking the ice.
So one of the better interactions we saw this year was you and Scooble. You took him deep, he punched you out. He kind of told you to go away. You barked back, but then he looked at you and he gave you one of these, like, my bad, bro.
No.
But I loved that interaction. I think we need more of that. It's okay to have fun, to show your personality, and you got him, he got you. You're both fired up afterward. When you have a chance to kind of look back on that, did you enjoy it?
I mean, I thought it was just the game, you know. I got his best pitch, and I hit it pretty good, and you know, he got me out with his best pitch.
Yo, bro, you crushed it.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah, he got me with his best pitch. So Just two guys going at it, respectfully, and just, I got nothing bad against him. Like, he's the best pitcher, one of the best pitchers in baseball. Be able to get my best ace swing off of him and be able to hit a home run, I think it was pretty cool. And, him punching me out, in a big situation like that, I know it fired him up because it got him out of the inning. But, it's just two guys going at it, trying to give it their all every day. And, it was a lot of respect,
Do you wonder if the baseball gods have a voodoo doll of you? Because you came up and set a major league record. In your first 7 major league games, you got plunked 5 times. But that happened in the minor leagues as well. Yeah. I'm sure it happened probably in Little League for you too. Yeah. What's going on?
So, in college, our head coach, he always told us, don't move at the plate. If it's a chance to get on first base, it's a chance to get on first base.
Come on, coach.
So, when we used to move out of the way in college, he used to just take us out of the game, or the next day at practice, we'll be working on hit by pitches. It was just a matter of, battling, especially when you have 2 strikes and you get hit by a pitch, you get yourself out of that count and you get on first base for free. So, I always respect him for that. I never really got hit in high school until I got to college. I started learning his way, and ever since then, I've just been getting drilled with the baseball.
So there is an art to getting hit by a pitch.
That's right. That's right.
So for little kids that want to grow up and get hit by a pitch, what is the one thing?
There's a right way to get hit and there's a wrong way. The wrong way is when it hurts. The right way is be able to see the ball and be able to protect yourself enough to where it gets most of the meaty part, or if it hits a spot where it's not going to get as sore or anything the next day.
Exactly. It sounds insane.
It is, but it's pretty easy. It takes a while to get used to. I mean, we go home with bruises and stuff, but we're using plastic balls, right? When we practice in practice, but
thank God.
In the game, it's just like, it just happens, and you're not worried about getting hit at that moment. You're just worried about you're actually rewarding yourself by getting on first base and now being able to steal a base or something.
But it still takes a lot to want to stand in there against 96.
But I tell you what, it gets a lot of respect in your dugout when you get plunked and you get on first base for that guy on deck to hit with you on base.
I got it.
ご視聴ありがとうございました。チャンネル登録と高評価よろしくお願いします。